It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Arif.
So, what does the Academia want? Since they've sent their special ambassador, I assume there's a big business deal to be made. If not, I'd be very disappointed.
Please, sir, lower your blade. You're lucky I'm the one they sent. Not all special ambassadors share my admiration for the Iab people. The ever-shifting balance of power in the desert reduced the once great civilizations of this region to rubble and sand. But the story of the Iab has a very different trajectory. Others grew weak, but you grew strong, beginning in obscurity and moving to prosperity. You're the only ones who defied the trend.
Huh. So, you do know who you're dealing with?
This well is the perfect symbol of your strength, is it not? It used to belong to the Unut, but it looks...
You're not wrong. But I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to...
Of course not. I came to bring you some very good news. Records uncovered by the Vahumana Darshan show that a certain well currently under Iab control is built on top of some ancient ruins. These ruins are of great... I checked the map carefully on my way over here, and I'm confident that this is the well in question. The Academia is offering 50
million? No, wait. If these ruins are as important as you say...
Don't get greedy, Iab. We know far more than you think. We know that you seized this well by force. Wasn't that the first step in your rise to power? To drive away the Unut and steal their...
So what if it was?
Don't worry. As unscrupulous as it was, it's something we're willing to overlook. The Academia is only interested in dealing with the I hope I am making myself...
And I hope your words are the truth. If I find out the Academia is trying to play me, I'll hunt down every one of your people and make you what?
I assure you, Chief, that would not be in your long-term interests. You don't want to make an enemy of the Academia. You see how I'm dressed, don't you? I appreciate that you've never been to the rainforest, but surely even you recognize an ambassador's attire when you see it. And what does a barbarian like you have to lose anyway? You really think the Sumeru Academia would bother to come all this way just to lie to you? We have more important things to worry about.
All right, I take your point. The Academia is the highest authority in the land. I'm sure you're trustworthy people. In that case, we have a deal. We will sell you the excavation rights. I'd like to thank you, Ambassador. This is good news indeed. Excellent news. In fact, it calls for a celebration. Would you do us the honor of staying a while and enjoying some EAB hospitality?
Gladly. I am partial to wine myself, so let's indulge in a few drinks together. In celebration.
Chief! Chief, it's an emergency! It's the Unut. They've taken the well.
What? Well, don't just stand there. Take it back.
Yes, Chief.
I have every confidence in the EAB's
Well, what is it?
The Unut's response was alarmingly fast. The day after we reach a deal, they seized...
I
am obliged to remind you, Chief, that the Academia will only deal with the de facto power holders. If you cannot...
No! Please, Ambassador, just give me some time. That well is...
Glad to hear it. I will wait here for an update.
If there is a traitor, I will find them. In the meantime, make yourself at home.
Much obliged. Wow. All it took was a few words and I've got him wrapped around...
So, in summary, Ambassador, the Academia would rather negotiate with our tribe.
The EAB are ruthless murderers who don't listen to reason. And now they have the gall to interfere in our research. So let me ask you, Chief, if you were the Academia...
Kill them all, of course.
Precisely. The Academia does not tolerate those who stand in our way. The EAB have held back our academic pursuits for too long, and our patience is wearing thin. At the same time, there is simply no way that the Academia can be seen to be intervening in desert affairs.
We have our own rules out here. If the rainforest dwellers raised arms against a desert tribe, it'd start a bloody war.
Right. We can't confront them ourselves, but we can support their enemies. The Unut have always had strained relations with the EAB, which makes you our natural allies. Natural allies? Weren't the EAB your allies once? You were quick to send them after us to protect your interests back when we stole that water. And now look at you. You're at each other's throats. Let me be clear. The Academia wishes to collaborate with the legally recognized rulers of the desert in this matter. We are asking for excavation rights to...
Say no more. I believe we have an understanding.
Good. Then I suggest you get to work. Get us access to that well, and the more is yours. You see, Dad? Lying is easy when you know how. People will believe anything. Don't trust your eyes uncritically. People only see what they want to, so don't be your own fool. Why does Ashru sit up on the counter? To welcome our clients, of course. A kitty's gotta earn his kibble somehow. Don't trust your eyes uncritically. People only see what they want to, so don't be your own fool. Why does Ashru sit up on the counter? To welcome our clients, of course. A kitty's gotta earn his kibble somehow. Emotions are like a raging torrent that surges through the mind. More often than not, if you try to hold them back, you'll be swept away by their unstoppable force. And if you try to ignore them entirely, you'll end up tearing yourself to pieces. Why does Ashru sit up on the counter? To welcome our clients, of course. A kitty's gotta earn his kibble somehow. Emotions are like a raging torrent that surges through the mind. More often than not, if you try to hold them back, you'll be swept away by their unstoppable force. And if you try to ignore them entirely, you'll end up tearing yourself to pieces. Don't trust your eyes uncritically. People only see what they want to, so don't be your own fool. raging torrent that surges through the mind. More often than not, if you try to hold them back, you'll be swept away by their unstoppable force. And if you try to ignore them entirely, you'll end up tearing yourself to pieces. No more lies. Look at yourselves. You may be vile, savage the monsters who destroyed my home. They're just ordinary, petty I think we're even now. Maybe I've even done the desert a favor. Oh, Sinuhe. My gullible fool of a father. Perhaps if you'd been as ruthless as I was today, our tribespeople would still be alive. But you couldn't do what had to be done. So I did it for you.
Nefer, it's okay. All of this is in the past now.
I believe I remember you promising to remain silent.
Yeah, but even...
Yehoda, is there anything you can do to ease the tension?
Alright, time for... anyway, that's enough. Feels like we've been walking forever. I'm getting pretty tired.
Yes, if we can find somewhere to sit down.
It's not far now. There should be a temple just up ahead. Yes.
Really? A temple? I guess that's how things go in the desert.
Desert dwellers can never escape their destiny. Or so everyone says. I never wanted to believe it, but looking back now...
You mentioned a temple. What's waiting for us there?
My biggest trade secret of all.
Ah. Then I'm guessing it's where you go...
I didn't know you were clued up on any other religions.
I'm no expert in the history of Sumeru, but since you come from the desert, I would imagine it has something to do with King Deshret.
Sounds impressive.
Oh, I know who you mean. General Mahamatra Sino. The spirit of Hermanubis dwells within him.
That's boss enough for ya.
Sino's hardly a figure of obscurity, but I know about Sethos too.
What about him? Is he...
Well, he's not a small deal. Please, this is the bare-bone basics. Save the flattery. Thanks for your patience, everyone. I'm sure it's been a lot to take in. With any luck...
I'm totally out of my depth here. I don't have anything to add about any of this stuff. Like, look at that statue, for instance. I want to do the whole name-dropping, this girl knows her stuff thing too, but...
A statue with the head of a bird.
That's Thoth, the Ibis King. One of the 7 pillars of King Deshret. The legends say that he, the Crocodile King, and the Let's take a look.
It's just Ashru.
So, all is well?
Typically speaking, at this point, the world disintegrates. Then we find ourselves back in the outside world. Besides, these are my memories. There's nothing to fear.
You're sure?
Of course. It's almost over.
Hold on!
Knowing too much is always a death sentence.
Speak for yourself.
How repulsive.
Timed that pretty well, didn't I? It's okay. I'm just glad no one was hurt.
Paimon noticed you doing something too, Dainsleif. Were you helping get them out?
Of course. When I asked Nefer to conduct this investigation, I had a duty to ensure your safety.
Good to know your sense of justice is still intact after all these years.
I take that to mean that you saw the truth. That comes...
I certainly did. And thanks to your help, I also managed to trap Rerir inside the chess set.
Whoa, really? How'd you manage that?
Well, to be honest, I sensed that something was wrong long before by using this fragment to probe into Rerir's past. Well, the monster formerly known as Rerir. It seems I alerted him. I was tracking him. Then he caught on and started tracking...
But how did he track you through your thoughts alone?
Rerir was a secret agent who reported directly to the Vinster King. He is an expert at finding a trail and hunting down...
No wonder.
He infiltrated the chess set, read my thoughts, and built a new virtual chess set inside of it. That's why
Speaking of your chess set, it's quite a remarkable item. Would I be right in thinking you have some connection to King Desh?
You overestimate me. I only have a connection with one of his underlings, the Ibis King. You all saw how this came to be. A long time ago, the Iab massacred my tribe, the Shimti, in our home village. The Unut and the Iab fought a bitter battle over the rights to a well, all for the sake of a non-existent 50 million mora. The Iab ultimately won that confrontation, but the final blow to the Iab came at the victory feast, when an Unut assassin beheaded their chief right before my eyes. The remaining Iab. Having gotten my revenge, I returned to my hometown, where to my surprise, the nearby temple was still standing. As I stood there gazing at the temple, I noticed a cat just outside. This cat, as it turned out, was home to the spirit of the Ibis King. This chess set is my gift from the Ibis King. The chessboard within is made to the same specifications as the one in the mausoleum of King Deshret, and represents his power of piercing analysis. With this chessboard in its container, I gained a certain ability to perceive hidden secrets. Now, you could conclude that the Ibis King simply wanted to give the people of this world the power to seek the truth, but I don't believe that's the full story. Every god plays favorites. Their hearts are as fickle as any human's, full of secrets, perversions, egotistical tendencies.
It is the same with all powerful forces, including fate itself. Their gaze falls preferentially upon a select few. As you rightly point out, this is an act of favoritism.
If you're alluding to the Abyss, then yes, I agree. Gather the others. It's time to share everything I've learned. Thank you all for being here. As promised, I did some further investigating into the Raker of Solnari's background. I am pleased to report that the investigation has been most fruitful indeed. The Raker of Solnari, real name Rerir, was once a Conrian subject who served the Vinster King. I will now share the important details of his story.
So that's why he's so obsessed with the moon.
A tragic tale, to be sure. But, no matter how much Rerir suffered in the past, the fact remains that he is what we know today as the Wild Hunt. He becomes more dangerous with each passing day. If left unchecked, It is simply a matter of time before all of Tevat suffers the consequences. This is a threat that the Knights of Favonius cannot ignore.
A question for Miss Columbina. Forgive me if this is presumptuous, but have you ever seen the spatial gateway that appeared in Rerear's memory?
Never. But I have heard stories of something called the Moon Gate, and this seems to fit the description.
Miss Lauma, any thoughts on this?
In the lore of the Frost Moon Scions, the moon is believed to hold many secrets. Some sources speak of the term Moon Gate is one I have heard before. But as is the case with all of our legends, there are—
Then back to Miss Columbina. As a moon goddess yourself, do you have some—
Not at this stage, sorry. I do hold the power of the Frost Moon, and my strength is recovering well.
But there's more to the power of the
Yes. A moon goddess has the right to open the Moon Gate, since it is a path to the moon. And right now, I need to conserve my energy to fight the Rahier of Solnari.
I agree. Better to save your strength. But if you'll humor me for a moment, I have a bold conjecture of my own regarding the world beyond the gate. I highly suspect that neither Tholindis nor Rerear made it through unscathed. The evidence pointing to this is the fact that the Rahier of Solnari exists with the abyssal power he wields. No ordinary foe can touch him, let alone tear him to shreds. And yet, the wild hunt proliferates wherever his scattered fragments lie, drawing hordes of monsters to many different locations across the land.
So your theory is that Rerear was physically torn to shreds by some powerful force? Hence, why—
Makes sense to me. Explains why the wild hunt is so pervasive, and why he's been trying to piece himself back together.
Without the power of the Abyss on his side, he almost certainly would have perished the moment he was torn apart. But the Abyss, much like a curse—
I could not agree more. The power of the Abyss is most surely a curse.
It is a compelling explanation, and one that accords with my present understanding of Abyss creatures. Whether the life form in question is primitive or advanced, if a curse has extended its lifespan unnaturally, this raises some interesting questions. I will run some experiments. That being said, regardless of whether my research bears fruit, I would like to thank Miss Nefer for conducting such a—
My pleasure, Mr. Albedo. I too hope that the information I have shared today proves useful as we look to formulate the next stage of our plan.
Hey! What is it, Dainsleif? You look really upset!
It's just— when I think of the man I once knew as Rerear, I struggle.
The two of you used to be friends, didn't you? I don't know if these words will bring any comfort, but—
Mine too. We can never know all the hows and whys of the way things are. The moon and stars are full of untold secrets and lies. And the skies are host to many more mysteries than these alone.
Those are the first comforting words I've heard in a long time. Thank you, both.
Well, I think this is a good place to end today's meeting. I'm sure Nefer needs some time to recover.
That's very thoughtful of you, Lama.
Of course.
Sounds good to me. Take some time to rest and digest before we reconvene to nail down a plan. Hey, is this a bad time? Hope I... No need. Come on, let's talk out. Anyway, Nefer went back to the curatorium to get some rest. But before she left, she shared some things with me that I thought you should be... Firstly, although she managed to trap the Raker of Solnari inside her chest set, there's no guarantee that the power of the Ibis King is any match for one of the 5 sinners. It's only a matter of time before he finds a way to break out. We have to come up with a plan and take care of him before that happens.
Honestly, Paimon figured that might be the case. So...
Well, I asked her that same question. She talked for a long time, but for the most part, Seemed like she was trying to convince me how precious her It felt like some kind of sales pitch, you know? The kind where you end up handing over Mora against your will? Anyway, after all that, she finally answered the question. 2 days?
2 days? Holy moly! Can we even recruit enough help in that time?
That remains to be seen. Which brings me to the second issue. Dainsleif is obviously conflicted about this whole thing. But given how little... You have some history with him, right? Do you think maybe you could talk to him for us? Great. I appreciate... Alright, on to item 3. So, Albedo, Durin, and I put our heads together and came up with a plan. We figured we'd bounce the idea off you first. We'll explore it further once everyone's recovered.
Oh, Paimon's dying to hear...
Alright, so... here's what we're thinking. We felt a little uneasy about roping you into this. I mean, firstly, you're not locals, and secondly, none of us are your boss. You're well within your rights to refuse if you so choose.
Roping us in? Why would you even say that? We know the stakes here. It's all of us against the Rayher of Solnari, or none of us stand a chance.
I choose my words very intentionally, I'll have you know. I like to think there's an art to striking a down-to-earth tone even when the stakes are through the roof.
Sir Varka, I have a few thoughts about this plan.
I'm all ears.
I think we can be more flexible with how the roles are allocated.
I see your point, yeah. But if that's how we're going to approach this, you'd better... To be clear, I don't doubt your abilities. Far from it. I just want to make sure.
I want to do everything within my power. The Rayher of Solnari is a truly fearsome opponent, and...
Well, that tracks with what I've heard. Jean's mentioned in her letters that you're so diligent it's almost abnormal. As in, most people weigh up the risks and rewards in situations like this. But you seem to... Of course, everyone appreciates a fearless pioneer. But all that aside, I'm the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, and you're our honorary knight. I want to make sure your courage doesn't come at the expense of...
Thank you, Sir Varka.
I should be the one thanking you. It means a lot to have you on board. I'll give some serious thought to your suggestions.
This is a thorough plan, but I do have one last question before we take action.
Great question. Albedo's been hard at work analyzing Rayher and the Wild Hunt's behavioral patterns. Firstly, from the earliest known confrontation until now, Rayher has never displayed any ability to manipulate the dimension of space. Secondly, he seems to have a particularly strong vendetta against our group. If we put him in a fight-or-flight situation, he'll choose to fight every time. Thirdly, finally, and most importantly, he is consumed by hatred. Turns out, we tick both of those boxes. We have a reincarnated moon in our ranks, and a spy who accessed his private memories without permission. He'll be big.
As someone who's had their fair share of interactions with the Wild Hunt, those all seem like valid observations.
Understood. Then I will defer to the verdict of the group.
Well, everyone, that's the plan in full detail. Albedo and Dur.
Plan approved. Scheduling.
Okay! Any firepower you need, I got you covered.
The Frost Moon Scions are behind.
And the rest of you? No objections? All right. Then it's settled. This is the plan we're going with.
Wait! We can still back out of this?
Everyone says things they regret, right? I don't want anyone feeling trapped because their mouth said yes before their brain...
A very people-first approach. I hear that's common practice in the Knights of Favon.
Who'd you hear it from?
Shh. We don't use people's real names at work. This contact will be known only as Owl, please and thank you.
This plan can only work if everyone does their part. Flint's and I will absolutely support it.
We shall indeed. You'll be glad you accepted our help. Also, you are the last person I expected to see here, Miss Dory.
It's not often I get called Dory in a work context. My peers usually call me Lord Sangama Bay. So, the longer your name, the In that case, Mr. Flint's here must be worth a fortune. That's right, I know your full name.
The walls are thin here. I'd appreciate you keeping that as...
Okay, fine. I'm actually only here as a favor for someone else. Do you...
Oh! Does this mean someone out there actually has the power to boss Dory around?
It most certainly does not. We have a long-standing and mutually beneficial business partnership. She's actually the mom of a friend of yours. Said mom supplied me with a great little trinket, but now that lady's ruined everything. If I don't start building a little goodwill now, my whole business in Notcry is gonna go down the drain!
Okay. So what
It's a lucky charm that a great mage made for me. We have a business relationship, and she was worried that something bad might happen to me. So, I finally got it all fully charged up with Kuvaki, and then never went and used it all up at once!
You're right. It was all my fault. I didn't mean to drain all the Kuvaki in the pendant, but I'll make it up to you.
You will? Well...
I knew you'd say that. Well, it's yours if you want it.
You're putting me in a difficult...
It's a very useful thing to have around. But I have a funny feeling it won't be...
Looks like bankruptcy for me!
Hey, don't be so pessimistic. See this through and you never know. You might find a new business...
Feeling ready?
Oh, I was born ready. We only have 2 days. You think Lord Sangama Bay would let an opportunity like this slip by? Don't forget, when something's in high demand, the people with the goods on hand get to charge the highest price of all. Even higher than the sellers taking advance orders. Ta-da! See? It's right here!
Oh, it's so pretty! Did you make
it? No, I have a supplier. We go way back, so he made me a very attractive offer.
Aha! No wonder you were talking about lucky charms at the meeting. You've been getting Kaveh to make them for you.
That's not the full story. It actually started a while back as a project between me and the Dendro Archon. Mage Alice once warned me that this world won't stay safe forever. There may come a day when everyone faces a great crisis. I passed this on to the Dendro Archon, and she secretly brought together a research team made up of Sumeru's top scholars to invent a technology that could keep people safe. I won't go into the details because it's all very complicated, but if you... Anyway, point being, it was the Dendro Archon who asked Kaveh to build this little contraption. As one of the top Kasharu War talents, he was the obvious choice. Took him long enough. He stressed over it for ages. Must have gone through at least a dozen designs before producing a final product. But that's Kaveh for you. Marak delivered it to me a couple of days ago, along with a letter from Kaveh. Could I ask why I'm sending this technology? So nosy! My fault for sending him the research permit to begin with.
Surely Nahida must have told him you were involved in this project. He was probably just nervous because you're always so secretive about your business.
Could be, could be. Anyway, I just replied, let's hope they're never...
Fair enough. But it sounds like he was just being cautious. He probably thought...
Or maybe he was asking as a favor for his housemate. He's done that before. Not sure why, though. His housemate doesn't seem to really care that much. Either way, all's well that ends well. I'm just glad to finally have my hands on the product. Huh? What does that look mean?
Paimon's just super surprised. This must be the first time we've...
Well, a long time ago, I made a promise to myself. I promised there are always going to be times in life when you have to give something back. That could mean paying back a debt, returning a favor. Alice has been a huge help to me over the years. She was the first investor I ever had. And I want my investors to know that Lord Sangama Bay is the best, and more than that. No one knows what the future will bring. Whatever happens, I want to make sure the Dendro Archon and all of Sumeru is prepared to face whatever... Oh, that? I was just making sure Nefer and I are square. Don't be thinking it was some sort of benevolent act. I'm no saint, so don't treat me like something I'm not. My priority is doing the business that I want to do. So long as my conscience lets me, but it usually does. That's the Lord Sangama Bay business model.
Alright, if you...
I do say so, and that's the whole point. I'm a businesswoman. Don't go trying to figure out what kind of person I am. Oh, and could you two help me get this stuff where it needs to be? Thanks so much. You're my favorite assistants.
Traveler, Paimon, it's good to see you.
Everything going smoothly over here?
Sort of. As you're probably aware, per the plan, we dissected and analyzed some samples of these creatures. The process went very smooth.
What? You can actually dissect?
That depends on your definition of wild hunt and dissection.
Harmless, lifeless. These words are accurate descriptions.
The wild hunt is an interesting phenomenon. In and of itself, it doesn't seem to possess anything akin to a human personality. But taken as a collective, the medium through which the wild hunt is... Master griped a lot about the wise Horoptotire, and seemed somewhat fascinated with the Faust Élégie. But she barely mentioned Rerir at all. I don't think that was because of his lower social standing, though. Anyway, it's a pity. I should like to hear her thoughts on the nature of the life form he has become today. It's a strange mix. The furious energy of an abyssal being channeled through a fractured physical existence. A consequence of being torn apart by another. Perhaps the only explanation for his survival in this state is that he sacrificed a degree of individuality in exchange for a continued existence. Oh, sorry. Once I get talking about interesting research, I have a tendency to go on indefinite. Back to our research findings. Essentially, they confirm my hypothesis. Rerir's corpse is completely contaminated by the Abyss, and the effects are irreversible. You could think of this as Rerir in mutated form, but in my view, even that would be inaccurate. In reality, his whole being has been consumed by the Abyss. In other words, he is now nothing more than a manifestation of abyssal power. Unfortunately, at present, we have no means of completely eradicating abyssal power. Hence, we cannot fundamentally destroy the Reihir of Solnari either.
Oh, that's terrible news! So, that's it? We can't
Miss Columbina's situation is a difficult one. She can never achieve wholeness when the world does not accept her presence. It's as if her creator banished her to a place she can never be accepted. It means she spends most of her energy just on her own survival.
Given the circumstances, it's only natural to despair. But we must see this plan through to the end. Time to kick off the backup plan.
forgot! This is for you. Dory asked us to bring it.
Ah, how wonderful. Well, thank you for making the trip. Durin and I will be heading off shortly.
I'm sorry I won't be there to protect you in person this time. Please be careful.
All right then. Stay safe.
Miss Lauma, is everyone here?
Yes. The fate of my flock is in your hands, Grand Master.
My lady, what are you saying?
Within the next 24 hours, we will face the biggest crisis the world has ever seen. This is not a burden that we deserve to bear, but I believe that we reap what we sow in this life. So I intend to act. I must do what I think is for me. That means fighting for the future of Nodcry. This gentleman is the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, Varka, Knight of Boreas. In my absence, please follow his lead.
Hey, everyone. Guess I should introduce myself. Well, to start with, I know my way around a battlefield. The biggest strengths are honesty and hard-workingness. Anyway, point is...
Something on your mind?
Miss Columbina, was it? I believe that's how the others addressed you.
That's right. Names are funny things. Have you always been called Dainsleif?
Yes. I take it your own name has a more complicated history.
I have a different relationship with names than other people. To be honest, I'm not even sure that Columbina is my name. At least, not in the same way that Dainsleif is yours. But it's what everyone calls me, and I go along with it. A lot of my life has been that way. I get so used to things that I forget to question why they are so. I never used to think much about where names come from, or what they mean to people. Maybe something's wrong with me.
You're different from other people. I sensed it the first time we met.
You're more perceptive than most. I'm sure your long life and rich range of experience explains that. Do you ever find yourself missing Conria, Mr. Dainsleif?
Difficult to answer. I have dreamed of the past many, many times. Sometimes I'm fighting tooth and nail. Other times I'm lying on the ground, defeated. I don't recall any happy moments from that time. It has been too long.
Is that because hatred survives longer than love and affection?
That would not be for me to say. I make no excuses for the grudges I bear. But whatever the reason, I remember little that was beautiful or sentimental. Thank you for your help with the Rerir situation. Without your efforts, I never could have learned the hidden truth of his story.
You're welcome. I know he's your friend.
Friend? He betrayed me. And I never really understood what he was going through in life.
Okay. So, do you plan to fight him with us?
You
see, you're torn. Now you know what really happened. You see the things he's done in a new light.
I need some time.
Of course. I completely understand. Anyone else in your position would feel conflicted. Actually, I went through something similar myself recently. Something happened that changed my perspective on a situation.
You mean the Harbingers who still support you, even though you've left the Fatui?
Yes. I always thought they were only helping me because Harbingers are forced to work together. But then I abandoned them. A warrant was even put out for my arrest. And even now, they still support me.
Clearly, they view you as a friend.
I feel a little guilty now. I regret not seeing her help for what it was, and not treasuring it. I see the guilt that you're feeling now, because I feel it too. Hopefully, talking about it will do us. Have you noticed that the Traveler and Paimon are over there? I think they've been listening.
Huh. Shall we say hello?
Sure. Hello.
Ah! They caught us!
I apologize for making you worry. No doubt you wish to know where I stand on the plan to take down the Recher of Solnari. I'm afraid I need a little time, but I will seriously consider joining you.
You will? Oh, thank you so much! Everyone will be so grateful to hear that!
They needn't be. This was something that I was going to have to face up to eventually.
That doesn't matter to them. They're grateful to you regardless. You can't control their gratitude, so just accept it. And then, have a think about whether you're willing to join us.
It's nearly showtime! Let's go rendezvous with the others. You know the place.
Ah, you're earlier than I expected.
Hey, Flint's! Been waiting—
Not too long. I came a little early so I'd have some time to think.
Are you nervous about the battle?
Quite the opposite. I'm reminiscing on my past battles. When I was awakened by the Ratniki, I had not touched a weapon in many years. I felt like the battlefield was not where I belonged. But after waging war against the Wild Hunt for so long, I came to realize something. A life of absolute peace is simply not a pop. My restless flame indicates that somewhere inside of me, there is a—
Oh, that doesn't sound like such a bad thing.
Well, in the past, when Faye, whose primary concern was hibernation, it was hardly ideal. But it certainly serves me well here in the present. And I am delighted to be able to join forces with you in this endeavor.
Looks like I'm not the first to arrive.
Ah, Miss Lauma.
Did you sleep okay last night?
I struggled to settle down at first, because of the nerves. But don't worry. I got enough sleep in the end. I'll be just— Please, I'm just doing my part.
Never! Over here!
Aino asked me to relay a message. She said Anetha will be on high alert and keep a close watch over all secondary districts where defense is required, providing support as necessary. Meanwhile, Aino herself will provide range support to us directly, using her latest invention.
Excellent. My thanks to all involved.
The chess set's looking a little unstable.
It won't hold him much longer. We should be prepared to engage in a moment.
No sense sitting around waiting. Let's make...
I agree. Paimon, find a safe hiding place.
Got it! Be careful, Traveler!
I will.
Everyone, take your positions as soon as the battle starts. Every ounce of strength we have in our bones, let us bring...
Ready?
Let's go.
I've seen all your futile ploys before. You have become the authors of your own demise.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
You are merely a moment of sport before I tear down the moon. The moonlight betrays you.
You too.
Close your eye.
Pathetic.
Can't hide the truth.
Forest, protect us.
The moonlight betrays you. The moonlight betrays you.
No more lies.
Betrays you. Hunt him down.
This place.
Let me help you guys.
The moonlight betrays you.
It all adds up. The mystery unravels.
You poor lost lamb.
The moonlight
with one heart.
betrays you. Futile.
No more lies.
Move.
Forest, protect us. A grave.
Be silent. The moonlight.
Can't hide the truth.
Water jet!
The moonlight. Pathetic.
No more lies. It all adds up.
The moonlight. Creatures of the night raise you.
Water jet! Bombs away!
Futile.
Seek within. No more lies.
Forest, protect us.
Began with the moon, and so shall it end.
The moon will protect you.
Move.
Go!
How farcical. A grave trap.
Observe. Keep your distance.
Do you see now? From here, when will
Observe.
Welcome here.
The deception ends here.
With one heart.
The long sleep beckons. Close your eyes.
The riddle remains unsolved.
It's all futile.
Oh, Forest, take my broken crown.
Pathetic.
See you at the graveyard. Are you quite finished?
It's all futile.
Steady now.
Water jet!
The moonlight betrays you.
Bombs away!
The moonlight betrays you.
Water jet!
By the frost moon of old.
It all adds up. The mystery unravels.
Hunt me sound.
Close your eyes.
Water jet!
Pathetic.
Can't hide the truth. No more lies.
Receive my blessing for the everlasting forest.
Seek within.
Futile.
Wipe out!
Hunt him down.
It all adds up.
Be silent. Observe.
Your little game of heroics is over. Who wants to go first? No. Get out of my sight!
No! We've been
Death is within
separated!
my grasp!
You okay?
Never! Where are the others?
Stuck outside the barrier. I guess he really doesn't like us.
I told you before. Too much. There's always a death sentence.
Be careful what you wish for.
Realma! Can you hear me?
Hold on, silence.
The voice is repelling. But at least I know they're still there. I need to focus. Stick to the plan.
Destroyed. Reform.
Stalling him. If I can stall him for long enough, the moment will come.
It all adds up. The deception ends here. No more lies.
Wipe out! Water jet!
Can't hide the truth.
Destroyed.
Seek within. Time to come clean.
Keep this up!
Don't push your luck.
How much power will it take?
Shameless.
Wipe out!
The deception ends here. It all adds up. It all falls into place. Can't hide the truth. No more lies. Time to come clean. Seek within. How unfortunate. The mystery unravels. It all adds up. No more lies. Seek within.
Water jet! Bombs away!
The only way to defeat Rarer is to borrow his own power. That means Columbina will have to disappear while you two bear the brunt of his attacks. You have to hold on. Find a way to keep him focused on killing the two of you.
Nefer, your eyes are bleeding.
Soon you will be powerless to resist. And then, I will reduce you to dust.
But that dust will plague your memories. Come on, keep holding.
Any other tricks up your sleeve? Let's see them. As entertaining as they are, you've backed yourself into a corner.
You don't fool me. I see your fear clear as day. I have to stoke his rage. Make him unleash everything. You fear what you could never defeat. You fear the thought of never being able to save your beloved. You cannot win the fight against fate, Rarer.
Is that what you think? Well, now it's your turn to feel afraid!
You fear the sound of your own name?
Is it us you hate? Or is it what you've become?
Let's see what becomes of you! What's happening? That power. I've seen it before.
His power is on another level. We'll need to use an alchemical array to convert his power into a usable form. Then quickly channel it into Columbina, rendering her powerful enough to compete with him.
I'll join you. I can help. If I release enough abyssal energy into a confined space, it'll create a potential difference, allowing us to extract a huge amount of elemental energy. Next, I'll synchronize with everyone's minds using Pyro, then give you temporary access to their abilities and fields of view. But it won't last long. Can you see?
Well enough.
So, we have a student of Gold Rhine-Daughter in our midst.
How about that?
You use my own power against me?
Just like how you stole Kuvaki. Look familiar?
Don't you realize? You don't have the power to hold that gate open.
I don't, but someone else does.
Goodbye, Rerir.
We won.
Nefer, how are your eyes?
They're fine. Apart from the blindness, of course.
It's not too late.
Let me handle it. Miss Nefer, it's not like you to lose your composure. That was the most reckless thing I've ever seen you do.
Reckless how? The situation was critical. Our lives were at stake. We had to do something.
Even so. Okay. I guess you're right. Under the circumstances, it was a wise decision. In business terms, I suppose that's a huge return on investment.
I'd be hard-pressed to argue otherwise.
Still, I don't like this outcome, and I don't want you to lose your sight for good. People suffer when they make sacrifices they shouldn't have to make. Whether that means faith, strength, or in this case, your ability to even see. I had hoped you could win without sacrificing so much as a single hair on your head.
Thank you. Really.
All done. Don't try and open your eyes just yet. We'll see how you're doing in a couple of days. Until then, please follow your recovery plan to the left. I'll send full details through Yehoda. For now, just get yourself home, relax. My dear friends, we have fought bravely and achieved a spectacular victory.
The moon will remember this day. Thank you both. There's something I want to let you know.
What is it?
When Durin connected everyone's minds so I could access their powers, I also felt everything they felt. And since Nefer's eyes were injured, my eyes are hurting now too.
Huh. Hold on. Let me...
I only feel the pain. There's no actual damage. I just thought I should tell you.
You're right. There's no damage. That's a relief. But I must say, I'm surprised to hear the Kutar share something like this with me. In the past...
Things are a little different now from how they were.
Friends. You have no idea how glad I am to hear that.
How are you feeling? Any aches and pains? Did you sleep well?
I'm doing all right, Paimon. No need to worry about me.
Phew! Well, that's good. Paimon's been sitting on the edge of the bed worrying about you for ages. You slept...
Glad to hear you didn't starve. How was the food?
Well, it wasn't the same without you there to share it. Honestly, Paimon just can't relax when you're not your usual self.
Well, I'm back to normal now.
Oh yeah, and Albedo swung by earlier. He said to tell you to head to the tavern when you woke up. Varker and he also dropped off some medical supplies, but you seem fit as a fiddle, so if you're feeling up to it, let's head over now. Wouldn't want to keep them waiting. We're here!
Oh, Traveler and Paimon! Perfect timing! We were literally just saying how there's no way we're holding this victory feast without you.
How are you feeling today?
Much better. Thanks. Don't worry about me.
Relieved to hear it. If that changes, just let me know.
Yep, we're here for you.
Oh wait, where's Nefer?
How are her eyes doing?
Nefer's right over there. I'm sure she'd love to catch up with you.
I thought of 1,000 ways to congratulate you.
The honorary knight stuns them speechless once again.
Well said. The honorary knight showed us all how it's... the other knights tell me that Mondstadt was the first stop on your journey. All of us are truly delighted to count you as our friend. I'd like to thank you for supporting the Knights of Favonius, and also for helping us save Nodcry. Nonsense! Of course I'm gonna mention it. This is more than just...
Traveler, Paimon, are you recovering well? Turns out that moon chanter has some real talent after all. My eyes were mostly recovered after just a couple days' rest.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful. Lauma says not to strain your eyes while they're still healing.
Yes, thank you. I'm well aware.
Yehoda, could I borrow you for a moment?
Oh, sure. Did you hear that? I gotta go help Lauma for a second. You guys chat 'em.
You bet.
Sure thing.
The Raker of Solnari. No, definitely a snake. A poisonous one who... Anyone who seeks revenge out of hatred for other people has become a snake. That's something my dad used to say. Perhaps. I'm sure it sounds like a very wise and open-hearted perspective to your ears. But what else is left when everything you depended on in life gets stripped away? Something's gotta fuel that drive to keep up. If you're worried about me, you can nip that in the bud. I'm not someone who gets stuck in the past. It's just... I suddenly feel like I was wrong to call my father a liar. Oh, father. Look at the Ibis King. Thoth is a fiendishly cunning liar. And yet, strangely, he feels more like a father to me than my... He's never brought it up, but I'd bet he feels the same way. Why else would he give me the power to perceive the truth, while at the same time training me in the art of deception? Well, King Deshret banished him to Aru, which is essentially a prison, and posed 3 questions to him. He promised that he'd have his freedom if he could find the answers. His response was to take on a physical form and approach me, hoping that I could become his envoy in search for one. Did he really think I'd fall for that? He's stuck there. He can't make me return what he gave to me. So that's enough for you to decide he's nice, is it? He's a prisoner, and he was scared. So he decided to perform some good deeds to win. He lives in fear because he's a deceiver. How is Rerir any different? You can't work as a spy your whole life, and it's preposterous. Yet I can't say I don't understand it. Liars live in the darkness of their... They say that a liar's soul is the most worthless thing in the world. What do you think? Good. If you understand that, it means you're smart. If you ask me, the soul of a liar really is worth nothing. For example, when something good falls into my lap, I don't go sharing the news around. Stops other people So be it. They have sharp ears. I can't keep anything from them. Oh, is that what it looks like? Well, you all know my past now. And I can't simply eliminate everyone who knows too much. So I guess I just have to put up with you. When you find yourself in a situation you can't control, the safest play is to keep calm and start monitoring everyone involved like a hawk. In the intelligence world, you need... If you understand what's at stake, please ensure my secret is safe with you. I trust you'll... Very good.
Oh, wait! Now that the panic's over and we've all calmed down, Paimon suddenly remembered after all that build-up, our mystery ally never showed up even
Huh? Am I imagining things?
So, that close colleague who stayed behind with you? What's he been up to recently?
Don't know, don't care. I get more normal human interaction from hanging out with Bosco 2 than him. Although, now you mention it, he hasn't bothered me in a while. I wonder if...
If he's disappeared without a trace, it's the biggest gift he ever gave to the world. He won't lie low forever. So we'd better stay on guard.
Ah, Lord Sangama Bay. How lovely to see you. I must thank you for the device you provided. It was an enormous help. Would I be right in thinking that it was developed by the Academia?
Why come and ask me when you clearly know already?
I mostly came to thank you.
That's more like it. A little gratitude goes a long way with Lord Sangama Bay. Play your cards right.
The chance to work with such a kind and charitable investor is...
Huh? Charitable?
Let's see. The first plot of land you purchased...
Stop! What do you think you're doing? Exposing my investment?
It's nothing to hide from. They're all perfectly legitimate investments. And some of the land you purchased was with the...
How did...
You're a curious case, Lord Sangamabe. You don't like people finding out about your good, but I'm afraid no matter how hard you try to keep things under wraps. You did it for Sumeru, didn't you?
It was empty land that was gonna go to waste otherwise. I figured if I built something there, it might at least get some use in an emergency. Disasters are capricious things. They strike without any warning. I've lost family to a disaster before, and I don't want to lose any friends or business. My elder sister used to dream of finding a sanctuary. Somewhere with plenty of food, water, and medicine. It was something I looked into, but after discussing things with the Dendro Archon, I decided on a more effective strategy. The tech people handled the tech, and Moneybags provided the Mora.
It's a pity that so few people know the truth about you. Everyone says that you view everything in terms of Mora and all you care about.
So? What's the problem with that? Everyone wants to be rich,
But surely you have dreams of your own, beyond just...
You don't get it, do you? My dream is to invest in other people's dreams. And, you know, make a nice little slice for myself along the way. Just thinking about it makes me happy.
Thank you.
For the device?
And the pendant.
Oh, that. I was just returning a favor.
Seems like we've both been away from home for a very long time.
Yeah. So long that I barely remember what my family even looked like.
That would be your mother,
Yeah, though it's been years since my sister passed away. It's not like I want to forget them, obviously, but memory can be even more ruthless than the most calculating business person. Beyond a certain... My sister can't help me now. Slowly but surely, her face is fading from my mind's eye.
Not everything will fade. When loved ones pass away, the beautiful memories are the ones that last the longest.
Yeah, that's true. If you ask me, that's the one silver lining in all of it.
Well, that, plus, I'm sure that life is much better now than it was back then.
Oh, absolutely. I have tons of Mora, a big beautiful house, business is booming, and I'm as happy as can be. You've got a lot going for you too. Boss of the Curatorium of Secrets? I'm sure there's plenty of Mora to be made in that line of work.
I appreciate the vote of...
How have you been holding up? Any adverse reactions? If you start to take a turn for the worse...
You don't need to worry about me, Grandmaster. I'm fine.
What?
You played an indispensable role in the battle for Notcry. Sometimes, when people praise you, it's because you just...
Let's do a quick demonstration. Albedo, that was an incredible feat of alchemy!
Thank you. I can't take all the credit, though. Durin...
See? Did you catch that? A masterclass in how to take a
okay. Yeah, I did.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, look who's bounced back. Looking good, Traveler.
Seems like you've recovered. You won't need to take any more medication.
Can I get you a drink?
Huh? You know how to order at a bar?
Handling a drinks order is ridiculously simple compared to alchemy.
Paimon believes it. Here, clear. To be totally honest, though, Paimon didn't quite follow all the
Don't worry, that's completely understandable. Unless you're a student of alchemy, it's hard to grasp the principle.
To put it in the simplest terms, we saw how our enemy stole the power of Kuvaki. And that, when facing an enemy you have no hope of defeating, it's best not to engage them in battle. So, instead of looking for a way to overpower him, we decided to help Columbina get strong enough. For this to work, we had to analyze his modes of attack, confirm who his main target was, and make sure that he wouldn't go beyond the range of the alchemical. For added security, we prepared a total of 4 arrays. But to mitigate the impact of the battle, We identified one location the alchemical array absorbed his abyssal power. Then Durin processed it to render it usable by Columbina. That power enabled her to do what would otherwise have been nigh on impossible.
What surprised me was that Dainsleif actually agreed to join us. Given his history with Rerir, he had every right to sit this one out. But we're extremely grateful for the decision he made.
It must have been a painful choice to make. But...
Absolutely. He was torn between two paths, but in the end, he made his choice and stuck to it resolutely. He doesn't strike me as the sort of person... Anyway, however you cut it, everyone gave a stellar performance.
That's the only reason you're here. Yes. I've thought a lot about it. And I've realized that I think this is very important. So Well, this is a new one. I'm so moved. I can't even hold my teacup. If that's all, you can leave now. Do you not want to be friends with me? Or is it that you prefer being co-workers? What is this, Columbina? Are you deliberately testing my patience threshold? Right now, my politeness module is active. But if you say another word, I swear I'll shut it down. If your politeness module was active, wouldn't you say the word please at some point? Polonia, please see Lady Columbina to the door. Will you still invite me to your next tea party? What? Yes, I think you will. Bye-bye, dear Sandrone. Last time, the Wild Hunt escorted you out. Would you rather I handled it myself this time?
We just wanted to, see how you were doing now that it's all over.
Why? Out of concern for my safety? I hope you didn't seriously think that the Rahier of Solnari would be able to lay so much as a finger upon me, given how prepared I was.
Mostly because you kind of helped us out, so we just wanted to check you were okay. Looks like all your robots are fixed, huh?
Oh, don't you worry about that. Tea time is already a write-off. If you're in the mood for tea, go ahead and help yourself. Otherwise, my coasters are still missing in action, though. Use this notebook instead.
Whoa! Pretty hefty notebook.
You can ignore those. They're just dumb scribblings. I doodle and write in my free time. Sometimes I remember the distant, dreamlike past. Sometimes I imagine the far-flung future. And other times, I grit my teeth and note down all the crazy nonsense going on in the present. Some people do the crosswords in the newspaper. This is my equivalent of that. Trying to predict the future is like daydreaming. And writing about the present just makes me furious. The past is my favorite. If nothing else, it's already set in stone, huh? Although, having said that, the only vaguely interesting memory in my past is... Who else? Pretty much all the mecha and Fontaine are his personal handiwork.
Wait, are you saying you know him? Like, personally?
I mean, I guess we were friendly enough. Yep. In fact, I'm probably the only normal person left who knew him at all. We used to chat occasionally back when he was still around. Before he passed away, he asked me to destroy all his manuscripts. I honored his request, but I did read through everything first before destroying them. I mean, I couldn't let the genius of Lord Artificer Alain Guillotin disappear like that. Would have been such a waste.
So, that's where the...
I just told you. Those are my equivalent of crossword puzzles. They're just dumb formulas that I solved. Alain's work was like epic poetry. The formulas in my notebook are just silly little... Not that there's anything bad about them. I mean, at least, solving those riddles isn't going to hurt anyone. Except me.
'cause I lose a few brain cells in the process. Anyway, while we're on the topic, I might as well tell you about what happened to him and his friends. Alain Guillotin had two close buddies, Renee and Jacob. They spent their childhood years together in the Nazissenkreuz Institute. They were all quite competitive, so there was some rivalry between them. But beneath the friendship and the rivalry ran something deeper, a sense of nostalgia for the past. Unfortunately, childhood would end, the prophecy would come true, the apocalypse would arrive, and the future would never be. A mad dream that would normally only capture the minds of lunatics began to take root in their hearts. A dream of saving the world. And if Renee and Alain had been people of lesser wits, that dream would probably have ended up as something for them to joke about. But alas, they were some of the sharpest minds around. They nurtured that dream with the full power of the first of them to fall under its spell was Renee. Against Alain's wishes, he persisted in experimenting on a mutual friend of theirs to try and save their life. Alain did not approve and parted ways with Renee. It's complicated. Alain wanted to believe that Renee only did what he did for the sake of their friendship. But when he told me about what happened, perhaps the seed that would grow into a nightmare had already sprouted in Renee's mind. Even then. The next time they met, Renee's soul had been completely engulfed by the dream of salvation. His futile attempt to change the tide of fate only resulted in a wave that swallowed up the world, even before the apocalypse came. And although that wave died down eventually, I hear that it just recently came back with a vengeance. As I understand, Renee wanted to live out his dream of salvation once more. But I'm told that the attempted resurgence finally died out for good. At long last, Renee, what do you think of Renee? Do you admire his transcendent genius? His view that or do you despise him? Dismiss him as an evil madman who wrought Same difference, really. Just a matter of perspective. Really? I can't tell whether that's because you disapprove of his deeds or because he failed. Or maybe Renee no longer exists in this world, and the dream he started went on to be. I don't like fanatics who give up their whole lives for their ideology. Nor do I Maybe I could understand if Renee had just been an ordinary person. But he had a sage-like intellect, and still managed to get himself lost. And anyway, that's enough about Renee. Now, he managed to put a stop to the first storm whipped up by Renee. To his credit, I suppose, the loss of his family and friends was purely a tragic accident. After that, the only thing supporting his work was the same dream that had dragged his closest friend down to the abyss. But although the desire to save Fontaine drove him to found the Fontaine Research Institute, Alain continued to reject any form of transcendental knowledge or power. He was suspicious and fearful of it, having seen the way it had affected his closest friend. I think that formulas and machines derived solely from human intellect were the only thing that gave him a sense of spiritual comfort. Yet Alain's intellect was simply too great. It barely left him space to breathe in his lifetime. Once he realized that the end of his life was approaching, he finally accepted the truth. The Nazissenkreuz Institute needed someone, and a human being, to see its story through to the end. He quit working on his formulas, trading them in for the fairy tales that had played such a formative role in his childhood. He told me that the director of the Nazissenkreuz Institute used to read those fairy tales to the children as bedtime stories. Apparently, they worked wonders. I think that all he wanted at that time in his life was to be able to sleep deeply without being plagued by depression. By that point, nothing else really mattered. At the very end, he laid down to rest in the ruins of the former Nazissenkreuz Institute orphanage, while the Fontaine Research Institute he had founded continued tirelessly with its work. Many years after that, tensions over competing dreams would once again cause a rift, this time between members of the Fontaine Research Institute. But the actions of those fools had nothing at all to do with Alain. And that is the story of two people from the Nazissenkreuz Institute who both wanted to save the world. One went all in on his fantasy of salvation without ever looking back, and the other sought desperately to burn bright in his life. I do sometimes wonder, why is it that people like them have such grand... Even the grandest tree starts as a tiny seed. So perhaps, for each of them, their mission to save the... They were young children with friends and family who mattered to them. Desires to explore the meaning of life. Or maybe they just wanted to find something to anchor themselves within the cave. But instead, the search for their own salvation took them down the rocky road laid out by fate. Do you think the desire to save oneself is enough of a justification to try and save the world? You don't know? I guess that's a fair answer. Alain was much more straightforward about it. I asked him the same question back when he was in his prime, putting all of his... Yes, it's enough. That was all he said before getting right back to his work. He was always, all right, tea time's over. I owe Arlecchino a favor for telling me these stories. I'll have to bring a whole sack of gifts the next time I visit the House of the Hearth. I'm gonna go tinker with Polonia now. You guys can do whatever you want, as long as it doesn't involve interrupting. Polonia, exit hibernation mode. Begin diagnostics.
Now it's your turn.
Change of plan. Insulation chamber. You pull.
Full throttle!
Rest from the sky! Try and stop me!
Allow me!
Lush as the moonlight. By the frostman of old. Branch into song.
Use of force authorized.
Hold the line!
Cleanup sequence initiated. Lush as the moonlight.
Light of the blazing sun!
Switching gears. The flame burns on. Insulation chamber.
Turret, bring refuge! Let's move out.
Cleanup sequence in for the everlasting cause. Preparing for dust up. Insulation chamber deployed. Branch into salt.
Full throttle! Rest from the skies!
Cleanup sequence initiated. Accelerating. Defensive mode engaged. By the frostman of old.
Rev the engines! Let's go! Light of the blazing sun!
Cleanup sequence in.
Rest and rebuild!
You poor lost lamb.
Covenant of the Deep!
With one heart, we pray. Defensive mode engaged. Annihilation mode.
Try and stop me!
Commencing task.
Add astro. Thank you for Add astro.
Most things in life aren't one... Done. Soon as you're rested up, let's make a move.
My sister, your eyes darted for a moment there, and the wine glass left your lips. I doubt the Traveler is the type. I'd wager that should he face a chance. Come, come. How about a drink with a little less... Haha, don't be a stranger. I'm just observing the very... Why not? Thank you, good sister, for answering my prayer in my hour of utmost need. But in doing so, you kept everyone in good spirit. As the beneficiary of that sterling deed, I would very much like to toast you on this most beautiful day. To our precious days of freedom. Cheers!
And here I thought you were a fast runner, little Nekomata. Yet you can't even catch a few little tanuki? Youth these days. No. Oh, the hide-and-seek master. You. Why are you... Yobu Koban, has the package been delivered?
Yes!
Ha! Still so young, little yokai. I knew who the package was for the moment... What's wrong? You... What?